So tonight I want to talk about the subject of twin flames, which I understand is different than a soulmate. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because I have been going through this experience for the past, I'll say, 10 months that has been very different than anything I've ever experienced in my life. And I'm 43, and in a couple weeks I'll be 44 years old. So, in the end of last year was 2021, I met a young man through social media. And it was just the most interesting thing that I've ever experienced. And interesting is probably not even a good word, but strange, unexplainable, maybe better words to explain, just the level of connection I felt. And I can only really speak for myself. But I remember our first conversation, and it was just, it was a phone conversation, and there was just such a rapport between us that that was, I don't really think I've ever experienced that before. And we met in person a couple weeks later, and I just remember the energy. I just really liked his energy. And I really was attracted to his energy. And that's like the word that came to my mind. It's like, man, I really like his energy. Like, he has good energy. I really like it. And we kept on talking over the months. And I believe like the next month, I just totally cut off the budding friendship, because I had, for I'll say the whole month of October, just been so stressed out about just the friendship / relationship that we had. I remember just like feeling vexed in my spirit. It was like I had met this young man, and it was kind of like I had to be around him. And I was like laying in my bed at night, and I was so stressed out thinking about, should I be around him? Should I not? This may not be a good fit, but I feel such a magnetic attraction to this young man. And it eventually became I say non-exclusive dating relationship. And there were just obstacles in the way, because at the time we met, we were both married, and we were both going through divorce. And we're both Christians, and I am, I try to be a good Christian woman, and I'm trying to understand this twin flame concept from a Christian point of view, because my understanding that this whole twin flame theory or concept is more of a new age religion concept, which is totally not biblical. And so I started like Googling Christian twin flame, and some say it's not biblical, it's terrible, Christians shouldn't do this. And then there was another perspective saying that it absolutely is biblical, that the Bible does describe this experience in Genesis with Adam and Eve, and Adam being formed from the dust, and God pulling Eve out of Adam. And so I say this to say, as with all things, I come from the concept and the point of view is that we have to have grace with ourselves. And I try to have grace with myself and not be too overly judgmental. But, I really kind of started like in the past, ever since I met this guy, I was like, this is such a spiritual experience. This is like, it was to a point, I don't know if this is God or the devil, because it was just such a spiritual experience. It was like nothing I ever experienced before. It was like, it was such a magnetic connection, and it was just like there was separation coming back together and separation coming back together. And it was kind of like the friendship was always the most amazing part of the experience. Is it was like the body, the physical relationship was great, and it was like fireworks and it was amazing, but the actual friendship was like the most amazing part. And if this were to permanently end, I would miss the friendship more so than anything. And so I just like kind of took it upon myself to watch Red Table Talk, the episode where T.I. and Tiny were talking about they came back from the brink of divorce. And I just remember that T.I., the way he was describing his relationship to Tiny and the words he was using was really describing what I felt with this particular young man as far as a twin flame relationship. He talked about the energy between us, the connection between us, the friendship, best friend, my best friend, the best sex, and in my situation, it was like, it was amazing sex. We were confidants, like we kept each other's secrets. We confided in each other. He confided in me a lot. And so I had looked up this whole thing about twin flames, and it said that some of the things that happens with this is that usually there's a big age gap, and a lot of times the woman is older than the man. And I was like, wow, I am older than him. It's a 4-year age gap. And I thought about, wow, T.I. and Tiny, she is older than him. It's a 5-year age gap. And I started Googling, okay, twin flames or whatever, and it was like, okay, I saw come up Taylor Swift and I guess her partner, boyfriend, whatever they call him these days, she's older than him. George Clooney and his wife, he's older, but there was a huge gap in age. And then and those are the only examples I want to use. But some of the things that said with the whole twin flame experience is that it was less about the relationship. It was more about putting a mirror to yourself and helping you to work through your stuff and to help you transform into a better person. And that there's magnetic attraction, there's obstacles, there's amazing sex, and there's this thing of synchronicity. And I found that really interesting because it really describes what I've experienced for the past 10 months. I'll just say for the past year, for to make it clear, or to make it short, for the past year, it really explains like that whole feeling of, I remember October last year, laying in my bed, feeling vexed, like, man, I can't be without him. And then it was like, when I was with him, I felt such peace and comfort and friendship and camaraderie that I had never experienced at anybody, male or female, in life. Not a friendship, not a romantic relationship. It was just it was a really different type of experience I had with this person. And I remember like looking at it, I was like, man, I really like that person's energy. There's something about that person's energy that I really like. And, at that point, I wasn't necessarily drawn to it, but I was just like, wow, I like that person's energy, and I didn't think anything of it. And then come to find out, we meet, and it was just an amazing, strange, different experience. And there's no one that I can talk to about this that really gets what I'm talking about. It was like the level of peace and comfort and safety I felt with this person just is very unexplainable. I had never experienced before. And I remember watching that Red Table Talk with T.I. and Tiny, and the way he was describing his relationship. T.I. was describing his relationship with his wife. Like, he's like, I can't replace her. This is my best friend. The energy and the connection between us, like, I cannot replace it. If I were to start over, it might take me another 20 years to find this again. And, it's like, this is it for me. And the terms he was using was the energy and connection. And I found that kind of strange because, or interesting because, when I was married, my husband had an affair, and, he had an affair with a woman that was a little bit older, a couple months, like 6 months older than him. And one of the things he said to me is that they had just such a connection. And now that I looking back, I was like, okay, was that his twin flame experience? Was that his twin flame journey? Because he couldn't stay away from this person. It was kind of like, that was pretty much a wrap for our marriage. And I know for me, it was kind of like the person I met, and I met this person, like, I was already separated, was starting to go through the divorce process when I met this person, and he was already separated. We were both not living with our respective spouses and had been separated for over a year. Actually, the both of us had been separated over a year. And it's like, I just cannot explain what I felt when just being with this person. And he had said, he had wanted to build a friendship with me because he felt a connection with me. Those were the terms he used. And then, I recently ended it again. And one of the things he had said when he was trying to, like, keep me from ending it was like, I do feel emotional connection with you, but I'm like, my divorce is final, yours is not. I don't think we want the same things. I think it's best just to be cordial with each other and, not to have any hard feelings. And, it was kind of like he sounded very, very hurt. But I might be rambling a little bit because, it's not like I took down any notes to have a coherent message or whatever. But this experience, it's real. Whether it's biblical or not, whether it's spiritual or not, whether it's angelic or demonic, it's a real experience. It's something I am really experiencing right now. And, I think that anybody, any Christian person who has wrote in a blog entry over that's denouncing the twin flames has never experienced it. Has definitely never experienced it. And I'm not saying that your twin flame is like the person you're supposed to marry and build a life with, but it is definitely an experience that helps you to grow personally. Because I know I remember just when I met this person, I was like, man, I thank God for this person, because they just poured into me. and just poured into my self-esteem and validated my experience, and helped me to grow spiritually and biblically and in my Christian faith. And it just it has to be something that's real, because it's a very real experience for me. And when I try to talk to certain people about it, especially my Christian friends, they have no clue what I'm talking about. So this person had opened up that book of that Bible, the scriptures, and taught me a lot of things, and validated it's okay to discipline my children. And the reason why I say that is because I've kind of felt as though when I was married, everything I try to do as far as discipline my children, it was just invalidated, and it was not supported, and it was an experience that was very challenging within that marriage. And then this person came along and was like, hey, this child, it's taking too long for them to follow your directions. You gotta get a handle on that, because it's not gonna serve him any good when this kid gets older. And it just really validated my motherhood experience and journey. And I it was like it came to one point where I was like, I don't know if this is from God or if this is from the devil, but this is definitely a spiritual experience, because I'm growing in my Christian faith, but we're in sin because we're legally married at the time to other people, but I'm growing in my Christian faith. It's a touchy subject here, It just goes to show you that life is very nuanced. It's not black and white. There are shades of gray. And, I think God can put his hand on anything. God can use anybody. God can use any experience to bring you closer to him. And, this whole twin flame journey, where it's like, it's, the masculine divine and feminine divine come together, and it's like you were separated, now you come together and you're like a reflection of each other, and you're like showing each other a mirror of themselves so they can work on themselves for personal growth and development. I don't think that's not Christian. Like, I think there is God can definitely use this experience to edify himself and edify the kingdom. And I like to say, let's have grace with ourselves. And this experience has been simply amazing. And I'm still in the journey, and even though I have ended the relationship, I don't necessarily think it's over. Based off of everything I hear about the whole twin flame experience, and based off of just my gut feeling, I just have this intuitive gut feeling. I believe that intuitive gut feeling is the Holy Spirit. It's like, y'all gonna be bumping into each other again, and it's gonna be interesting. So I'm gonna leave it there for now. That's all for now. Good night.